I should do, and I wish you would be right here with me. My mind is filled with pictures of when we used to dance, but now I don't know where you are. I miss you so bad, won't you come back to me? I've got you in my head, you're all that I see. I've lost all my chances, I know that I am too late. I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, wondering if you're thinking about me too. Now it's too late, now it's too late. I'm out of time, but I'm still thinking of you. My heart keeps on bleeding, I have scars, the ones not healing. They're all there because of you. It's my fault, I messed it up and I should have treated you much better, so much better. I miss you so bad, won't you come back to me? I've got you in my head, you're all that I see. I've lost all my chances, I know that I am too late. I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, wondering if you're thinking about me too. Now it's too late, I know it's too late. I'm out of time, but I'm still thinking of you. Tick tock, the clock keeps ticking. Don't know what I should do. I wish you would be right here with me. I'm thinking of you, thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, wondering if you're thinking about me too. Now it's too late, now it's too late. I'm out of time, but I'm still thinking of you.
Good morning, friends. How is everyone doing today? Good morning, Froggy, Donna, Sue, Jane, all the way from the UK. Woo-hoo! Well, here in the US of A, Jane, it is Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. This is a day where we celebrate those that have given their lives for our country. So it's a holiday of remembrance. Good morning, Sherry. And in fact, I'm going to go. Good morning, Cece. The plan is to go to the cemetery to lay some flowers for my dad. Um, he's a He was a veteran. Now he didn't die in service, but he is buried in the veteran cemetery. So I will go give him some flowers today on this fine Memorial Day. And then for us, I don't know about you guys, but for a lot of people here, at least in San Diego, Memorial Day is kind of the unofficial start to summer. So, because there's like, so for the schools here, they've got this week and then I think half of next week, and then they're out for summer break. So it's really kind of the unofficial start to summer, which means our beaches get very full. And I was seeing one of the local news broadcasts. Even though I don't watch news, I saw this little clip where they were interviewing San Diegans, and a lot of us actually stay away from the beach during heavy tourism times. So during the summer, so we'll go at either early morning or late evening when it's not quite as busy with all the tourists. This parking is horrific, horrific. All right, guys, let's get started. So my husband's home today. He had the day off. It's Memorial Day, so I'm gonna try not to take up too much of the day because I know when he's home, he likes to just spend time with me. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Hope all friends across the pond have a blessed Memorial Day. Thank you all for the service give and gave. And by the way, my son is was a Marine. He's no longer in the Marine Corps, but he was a Marine, proudly served. So let's get started on making the cards. Um, I'm smashing this other collection. So I think I had a video come out last week where I smashed a previous collection. Let me see if I have that paper here. Yeah, I do. Um, the first choice that everyone had when they voted on what to use, it was this one. And I smashed this one completely. All gone, all done. And then I counted how many cards I had because I wanted to make sure not to just like keep making Christmas cards. Good morning, Glow. How are you? You're lurking. Okay, you lurk away, my friend. Um, I didn't want to just make and not realize how many cards I had. So I went and did a count of all the holiday cards I have, and I had 414, which meant I needed to make 86 more. So then I started on the next collection, which I can't show you the cover page because the back of that cover page was cut aparts and I used those already. But I did link to a video where I started that paper collection, and I think it went live on Saturday. So when we're done here, if you click that link, you'll be able to see what collection I used and how I started it. And then what I decided to do, because I was working with cut aparts to start with, I went through a bunch of the card sketches I have, and I landed on using this one. It's 12 by 12 template number 4 from Jess Crafts. And guys, you'll be so proud of me. I remembered to link ahead of time to Jess Crafts. Yay me. So I used this one, and I'm going to continue to use it. So I had 8 sheets left of pattern paper after I used the cut aparts on Saturday. So I went ahead and cut them. So I cut full sheets with all these diagonal cuts, and then I cut full sheets of just the rectangle, the 3x4. Then what I did was I went to Sassy's LLC and uh, looked through a bunch of her holiday printables. And guys, again, so proud of myself. I linked to her Patreon, so you can go check that out. And I printed a bunch of the more larger rectangle ones. And also, if you join her Sassy's LLC, if you join her Patreon, I don't remember what level it is, but one of the levels you can actually resize her sentiments, and I think that's great because sometimes you want it a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. This is the actual size, the one I cut like this. But then what I did was I went in Canva and added maybe some background layer to it, to a few of them, um, so that they were a little bit different instead of just the plain sentiments. Like this one, I added this blue snowflake behind it. Here I added these images. Here I added like this candy cane stripe. So I did that with a few of them, and I have, I think, four different sentiments. So like here I added Christmas presents on the bottom, some Christmas border, different ones. So that's what I did. Then what I also did, before I printed these, I started with just blank white card stock at 3x4 and started to use some of the stickers to have the sentiments. And they're cute and I like them, but I could only do so many of these. And then that's when I decided, oh, I'm gonna go and kind of change up Sarah Liz's, or at least add a little background to them so that they're a little bit different. So I have all of these. These will be, these are actually not 3x4, but these I cut at 3x4. So these are other ones of the pattern paper from that pack. These I cut at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I did that because I wanted to be able to use these at 3x4, and that way I can layer them. See? So I did all my cutting ahead of time. Like I was cutting on Sunday. I was cutting this morning, guys, because I ran out of card bases. So I was I was up at 5:30 cutting cardstock for card bases. So that's what I did this morning. I also did, so if you see, hopefully I got it all off, but there may be a splatter or two, some paint on my hands. I decided to paint one of the calyx units I have in my craft room because not all, most of the calyx or the IKEA furniture that I have, yeah, most of it I got like as on Facebook Marketplace or on OfferUp or something. So I think uh, two of them I got free because those I got like during the pandemic when people were just getting rid of stuff left and right. So, but they weren't white. So I used them like that and that was fine. And I had them in my craft room and I was like, yeah, I can live with it. That's fine. Nobody's going to see that except me. But I'm going to see it. That's the whole point. Me, I'm going to see it. And that's going to drive my little type A personality brain crazy to not have them all the same color. So I'm painting one of them. That it's a calyx unit, the 2x2, so four cubes in there. Um, Painting that one white. So I started the process yesterday by sanding it down, getting it ready, and then I started painting last night, but then it was already going to start to get dark. So I went back to painting this morning. So the hope is to have it all painted um, by the end of today, if not tomorrow. And then I'll let it dry for a few days and cure, and then I'll put like a sealant on it, a polyurethane sealer on it, um, and then let that sit for a couple days. So hopefully by next week it'll be back in my craft room. And then I have one of the wider Alex drawers, the wider drawers, and that one I also got on OfferUp, and that one's like that blue gray. So I'm going to paint that one white. So many projects going on. And no, we didn't do the pegboard this weekend. We got busy, did other things, had stuff to do for my mother-in-law and for my mom, and so didn't get to the pegboard. Hopefully soon. But in the meantime, I'm working on other projects in my craft room to try and get it to where I want it, so it looks the way I want it to look. It doesn't have to be, what they call Pinterest perfect, but it has to be Yvette perfect because I have a vision in my head, and so I want to make sure I'm making it work for what I need and what I like. Anyway, I've wasted enough of your morning on chit chatting, I guess. So let me get started on the cards. So, like I said, I cut everything ahead of time. These were, again, those 3x4 that you just cut at a diagonal, and they'll go, in case you didn't see the video, they'll go like this here. And then I'll get one of my little sentiment cut aparts and one of the other pattern paper cut aparts, and that will go here if I could get it to lay right. So that would be the card. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. It's great for when you have those 3x4 cut aparts. It's really quick and easy. So with the papers that I had left, oh, and then another thing I did, when I cut these as diagonals, this was the original 3x4. I paired them up. So that's why you'll see these kind of layered differently, because I kept them paired up so that the pattern continues. Even though it gets pulled apart, you can kind of tell that the pattern continues on. Not that anybody's going to notice except me. All right, so let's get started. I think my first step is going to be putting the cut aparts onto the pattern paper. So I have some that's this green tone on tone, and I have some that is this red polka dot. So I kind of want to decide what's going to go like with which one. I think that'll go with the green. Oh, too busy. Green, the red. And so this kind of just helps me to decide. And I have my two stacks on how I want things done. And I should be keeping count, but I'm not. And then for these, I could add more of those stickers. What did I do with the sticker sheet? Huh. I don't know what I did with it. Somewhere in here. I could add stickers here if I wanted to, but I think I might leave those just kind of blank. Whoops. So I'm going to go through these real quick and just do these. But while I do that, share with me what you guys Those of you here in the USA did for or are doing for Memorial Day weekend. I know a lot of people use the weekend, the holiday, to go travel, have some fun. But I try and remember that there's a reason for this holiday, especially given that my dad was in the Army during World War II, guys. He was in the Army way back then. And my son was in the Marines. My uncle went to Vietnam, my husband's uncle. So lots of military connection there. And I'm not counting, so I'll kind of figure it out. Like if I have too many on the red end, I'll move some of the plain sentiment ones over to the green, vice versa. Just kind of making sure. Let me go through these more quickly. I'm taking way too long, you guys. Sorry. I should have sorted these, but I didn't think that far ahead. I thought far ahead enough to cut them all. That was about the extent of my planning. Okay, let's see. So I think I had 2 sheets of each, which would mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I have 24 of these and 24 of these. So I should have 24 of each of the cut aparts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I have one too many here, so I'll just pull over here. There we go. Then I can start like going assembly line style. Did I miss anyone? Everyone still good? Okay. So I know yesterday we spent the weekend. Of course, my husband has today off, so we kind of Saturday we went to Old Town here in San Diego. Had breakfast with my daughter, my son-in-law, my grandkids, and my mom and my sister. And then we kind of walked around for a bit around Old Town. Went in the little shops. See, so it'll be like that. I went in all the little shops and just, browsed. And of course, the 1-year-old just wanted grandma to hold her. So, you think she's really tiny. She's a tiny 1-year-old, but she gets heavy after a while of walking and carrying her. So at some point, I had to like, here, go with grandpa. Here, go with mommy. And she would for a bit, and then she'd come back with me. But it was fun. We had lots of fun. They ate way more candy for them, a lot of candy. I think we bought one masapan and they shared it. I was giving them pieces of it. Masapan, I guess it's kind of like marzipan, but not quite. I wish I had one here to show you. It's a peanut-based confection, so it's good. It's yummy. And then they also had a couple tastes of chocolate when we went to the store with candies. So they don't usually eat too many sweets, but they had a blast. And I just kind of looked at my daughter because my husband was like giving them a taste of chocolate, and I said sorry. And she's like, it's okay, because I know they don't eat a lot of candy, but they knew what it was because the 1-year-old, she kept saying candy, candy. And then there was this machine that it smashes a penny, makes it oblong with a design on it, like an imprint on it. So they each wanted to do that. So they each got one of those. And then they got a little flute that my husband bought them. What else did they get? I don't remember. But we had fun. We walked around for a while, which is not our normal Saturday routine. My husband and I usually on Saturdays go to breakfast and go do our grocery shopping and get ready for the week, do some laundry, visit my mom, check in on his mom. But it was nice. It was a nice change of pace to kind of just be able to walk around and enjoy the sunshine. Okay, let's see. And then yesterday, what did we do yesterday? We really did much of nothing because we kind of wanted to do just that, just relax, just not do anything. We actually sat down and watched a movie at home. We don't usually watch movies because we're the kind that will, okay, put the movie on while we're in bed and we decide, okay, let's watch a movie, and then we fall asleep. So we don't usually watch movies, but we did. We watched the whole movie, but we sat in the living room and we didn't fall asleep, ate some popcorn, just relaxed, which was lots of fun. So then today we thought, well, we didn't do much of our usual get ready for the week stuff. So we're going to do some of that today. Who did I miss? Hi, Linda. Welcome, my friend. Um, so we're going to do some of that today. Like I said, I'm going to go to the cemetery, take my dad some flowers. And then I'll probably do a little more painting on that calyx unit I'm working on. And then I thought with this paper pad, I might get to my 500 cards, but I'll be short a few because on the video I put out on Saturday, I made 24, and this is going to be 48. So that's 72, I think. 24, 48, 60, 72. Yeah. So I'll be short 14 cards. But when I was counting, I realized I didn't have a lot of Hanukkah cards. So what I'll probably do is pull out, I have this beautiful paper pad that has these beautiful blues on there. So, and I have a stamp set from, I think it's Gina K, a Hanukkah stamp set. So I'll probably make the remaining cards I need to get to my 500 Hanukkah cards, I think. And then I'll have to go back and stamp them all on the inside because even though I told myself last year, stamp them on the inside and stamp your stamp on the back as you make them so you don't have to come back and do them all. Yeah, I didn't do that. So I have to go back and put a sentiment on the inside and my little handmade by Yvette on the back. But it's okay. It's okay because I'm finished really early. Usually I have all my cards done October, November. I pace myself a little better. But because I've been so crazy all about smashing paper pads, I made a lot more, a lot sooner, which isn't a bad thing. So I'll just have to focus on getting those, the insides of the cards done. Okay, so there's those. Next, I'm still short some. Why am I short some? I have more of these. I must have had 3 of these sheets of paper. I'm gonna have to print some more of these sentiments. No worries. Let's see. What do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I miscount? I must have miscounted. I'll get some more. I'll print some more later. Let's work on what we can today. But like I said, today is going to be kind of another chill day, not too much going on. I did remember to refill my tape glider here before going live, and I looked at my liquid glue and I refilled that too because I realized I don't have that much left. So luckily I have a couple of refills of my Barely Art glue. So I did that. And then I got to get ready. Another thing we're going to do today is kind of put together a photo album for my second oldest grandchild because she's graduating from high school. Well, she's done. She finished early, but the ceremony is on the 4th. So my daughter's going to do just a little dinner for her. And she said, Mom, you have so many pictures of her. Can you maybe put together a little album of her throughout the years? And so I'm going to do that so we can do a little slideshow, showing how she's grown and changed. Although she will forever be that little girl, that baby that I held in my arms. In my eyes, she'll forever be that. I think they all will be. Even my kids, I look at them and I can't help but remember when they were just babies or toddlers. Even though in the midst of the toddlerhood, you're thinking, oh, will this ever end? You know, it ends all too quickly and they become adults. Well, first they become these crazy teenagers that you really want to end that phase quickly. Then they become adults and have lives of their own and opinions of their own and ideas of their own, which is, that's what I wanted for them. I didn't want them to be um, dependent on me or just believe in something because I do. I wanted them to have their own beliefs. If they believe the same things, great. If not, great. They have their own minds. I'll check on the chat right now, you guys. I'm kind of trying to get these all done. Oh, and I got to tell you, my arms were killing me last night from everything I did. Oh, because I get these bursts of energy. So I also shampooed the carpet in one of the spare rooms. So by the time I went to bed, my arms, my right arm especially, because I'm right-handed, they were just killing me, throbbing. But and my mom always tells me, Yvette, you need to learn, slow down. I'm like, look who's talking. This 90-year-old, I can do whatever I want. She was funny. But we did have fun. We had breakfast with her, and that was nice. Like I said, I'm spending more time with her. I spent last week, I spent during the week 3 days over there in my mom's house, which I thought was fun. I was there just chatting with my mom and my sister, not doing much of anything else. And I really enjoyed it. Who am I missing? Hello, Ruby D. How are you, my friend? Hi, Vicky. Whereabouts in Arizona? I have a home in Arizona. So yeah, that's I don't know how to sit still. And that I get from my mother. Like when I had surgery, I was losing my mind because I couldn't like do stuff. Couldn't um, just get up and do for myself. Especially like with my hand surgery because there was I couldn't do anything with this hand for a while. Still hurts, still bothers me, but um, is what it is. There's no going back. Okay. And I do my best to center them, but I'm being better about like if it's close enough, it's close enough. I'll just let it go. All right, let's see. Yeah, I definitely am going to need to print more sentiments. So what we'll do today is once I get these layered, we'll put together a few cards. And then whatever I don't finish live today, I'll finish and then I'll share my cards with you guys. Whoop. All right. Oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas. Hmm. What am I missing? Oh, I know where that's at. My home is in Tonopah. Having a lazy day. Perfect. Perfect. Today's the perfect day to have a lazy day. Really, for me, any day would be a perfect day to have a lazy day. But like I said, I don't know how to sit still. That's one of my downfalls. I don't know how to sit still. This is why Like I'll take things with me to do. When my oldest grandchild was born, she was a preemie and she was in the NICU for 3 months, something like that. And I would go every day to visit with her and sit there in the NICU with her. And I would take, um, uh, I was doing a cross stitch baby blanket for her. That's where it all started. And because I did a cross stitch baby blanket for her, then when the next grandchild came along, it was like, okay, I got to do one for that one. And then the next grandchild came along, I got to do one for that one. And so every grandchild of mine has a cross stitch blanket that I worked on for them. So, like, as soon as I would find out that somebody was expecting, I would race out and find a blanket to work on for them. Okay. Er, So they all have one. All right. So I'm short 6 centimeters, looks like. So I'll have to print these and do these later. Okay, so then the next step is to assemble my uh, triangles onto my card bases, and they go directly on the card base. So let me make sure they're all facing the right way because I have a tendency to put things on upside down all the time, all the time. Even though I tell myself, check, Yvette, check and be sure you have them facing the right way. That doesn't mean I actually check. Okay, so then these I'll set aside for now. I can start working on these. So for these, I do try and use the liquid glue so that I can get into the little corners here. Make sure they get adhered to the card base. I should probably put this over here. And making sure I have it the right way because this pattern is directional. I want to make sure I have the pattern going the right way. And I'm getting glue everywhere. All right. And I'm going to have to trim some of these card bases because this is that Michael's Recollections cardstock. And it's just not 8.5 by 11. So when I cut it, it never fails. I thought I trimmed them down, but it never fails. It's off by just a hair every time. So what I'll probably do is go back and trim them all once I'm done making them. Although, again, nobody will pay attention to that except me. Always me. All right. So I mentioned it last week on my live. I am going to stick to just lives on Monday mornings for the time being. I really enjoyed spending that time with my mom, and I want to continue to do that as long as I can. So my lives will just have to be on Monday mornings because that will then allow me time to do a little bit of cleanup around my house afterwards and then go get some exercise and then go with my mom and then come back in time to make dinner. So that's my plan. Now, I haven't set up my schedule. I just set for myself of what I'm going to do on each live. I haven't set that up for June yet, so I'll probably work on that this week. I have some design team work to get done this week as well because, like I said, I spent 3 days at my mom's, which meant I wasn't doing much of any crafting or design team work here. And I'm okay with that as long as I meet my obligations. My thing is just, I've always been the kind of person that if I said I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's just how my little brain works. And I've always been like that, even as a kid. Even as a kid. Okay. I think this is such a cool sketch because I'm not like I could, if I wanted to step it up a bit, maybe add some Love from Lizzie peel-offs here along the edges, add some embellishment, maybe pop up the center card panel. Those are things I could do to kind of take it up a notch. But I want to get all these cards done, and I will. They'll all be done before June 1st so that I can then move to the next step that I missed, which is stamping the sentiment on the inside of all of them. What do I do with my, oh, here it is. There we go. And that way I know I'm getting things done. Once I do that, I was telling my husband yesterday, you know those boxes that Michael's has, the photo boxes? I don't have any left. I really don't have any left. I used to have a ton of them. And last year and the year before, when I went and delivered the cards, I just delivered them in those boxes. So I don't have any more. So I told my husband yesterday, I think I need to go buy some more because I need to be able to put these away until December. So he says, okay. And then as I was thinking, because I went and looked at the price of them at Michael's, and I know there's Memorial Day sales. So I thought, it'd be a great weekend to buy those. But I think they were on sale for 3 boxes for $9.99, so 3 for 10. But then I thought, no, just get one of, Amazon boxes or the other boxes you have at the house and put them away in there because really I'm just putting them away there and then I'm going to deliver them in those boxes once I have them all stamped. So there's no need for them to be taken in those photo boxes. Those photo boxes are more for actually storing stuff, like photos or maybe cards I'm going to keep here. I don't know. We'll see. But I didn't go buy more. I figure I could save because I would have needed, I think I fit 100 cards in each one. So I would have needed 5 boxes. So I would have spent $20 right there. $20 that I could use on pattern paper instead of boxes, right? And I did, I had canceled my, the, what are they called? Club memberships at Spellbinders. I had canceled them before Lent. I was like, nope, not going to do it. Then I saw these this month. And guys, I had to do it. I mean, I worked for an elementary school district for 30 years, and my daughter works for one. My sister was a teacher. I had to do it. So I did. I got these. So I got this one, and maybe I'll use these on our live next week. Yeah. Um, maybe the stencil. I don't. We'll see. I'll probably pull these out for the live next week. But I did that. I bought those, and then I have. I'll probably do an unboxing video of. I got more papers from a 12 by 12 cardstock shop. So maybe I'll do an unboxing of those later in the week if I have time. Because, like I said, my time is now dedicated to my mom and my husband and my grandkids and my kids. I wish I could like clone myself sometimes so that I could get all the things done because I'm the kind of person who makes to-do lists for herself, and like I get so happy when I cross something off my list. Then inevitably I cross one thing off and I add 3 more. That's just me. It's how I do things. But I was working on my to-do list last night and told my husband, what did we say we were going to do tomorrow? Because I had told him we need to do this, give him the list of the honeydew list that really I might just need his help with a few things. like the pegboard. I need his help cutting the angle cuts for the frame. But so I sat in bed and made my honeydew. Well, it's my me-do list. It's a to-do list for me, not really for him. And I just sit there and look, and it's like I need to like not worry about some of these things. Just not let them take up space in my mind. Although I do need to go through my stash of goodies to give away or sell, or I don't know what I'm going to do with them, guys. Like I said, I have a bunch of pattern papers and stamps and dies that are still in my garage that I never brought in here when I moved back in the house. And I'm not going to bring them in here. I haven't needed to reach for them, and I just don't think I will. So I might do like a little crafty yard sale again with my sister, because she's making these fabulous, oh my goodness, these what is it called? She gets those jelly rolls and makes like rugs out of them. But my sister, we grew up learning how to save money here and there. So instead of buying a jelly roll, she'll buy fabric and make her own strips and make her own jelly roll, and then she makes her rugs. I wish I could show. Let me see if she sent me a picture. I'm pretty sure she sent me a picture. Let me look real quick. Oh, here it is. This is the last one she made. I'm gonna show it to you. Isn't that beautiful? So she bought all these fabrics, red, white, and blue for Memorial Day. And she made her own jelly roll, and then she made this jelly roll rug. She's the seamstress. I don't like sewing. It's not my thing. She loves it. She actually enjoys it. It relaxes her. So that's great that relaxes her, because it does not relax me. But she made several of these. Did I show you? Let me see if I can find the next one. Where's another one? She made this little, like, I don't know how to describe it, like a carrier for my mom's walker, so she could put, her wallet in there if she goes to the store, and her bottle of water. Let me find it. I might have shown it to you. I don't remember. Let me show. Oh, so there's my mom's walker, and she made this to go on the walker. So she has these two pockets here, and then on the other side she has a couple more pockets. So my sister is super talented when it comes to sewing, and cooking too. She's a wonderful cook. Just ask my kids and my husband. They'll tell you. All right. Right? Aren't those colors beautiful? I told her, hi Paige, welcome my friend. I told her, you need to sell those. You need to like do what are they called? I can't think of it. Where you go sell stuff at a craft fair. I told her she needs to do that. She's like, well, what if we just do a yard sale here, and you bring your stuff and I'll put these out? And I was like, okay. But I think she could definitely sell those at a fair. And she has several. She's made a ton of those since she retired. She has made a ton of those. Like one of the gifts I gave her, because I gave her a little gift basket for retirement, and I went and bought a jelly roll for her. And she right away made a little jelly roll rug out of that. And I guess she got hooked. And then she wanted, I don't know, she was looking for some gadget or other. So I bought her that for her birthday, because her birthday's in July. So she retired in June. Her birthday is July. So I got her that. And then something else she wanted, and I got for her. But, all she has to do is say, oh, yeah, I'm thinking of buying blah, blah, blah. And I'll just go look for it for her. She's my kid sister. It's the least I can do for everything she has done for me, because when my kids were little, she was my go-to babysitter all the time. If I had, like if one of them needed to be picked up from school because I had to work late or whatever, she would go get them. If we had plans on the weekend, there's my mom and my sister to watch my kids all the time. and they love their auntie, and they love her cooking too. And my grandkids are the same way. They love auntie. She rocks. So yeah, she's very talented. And I mean, she can still more than just jelly rugs. She can make her own clothes. She does so many things. Like she took after my mom on that because my mom is a seamstress. She can't really sew anymore because she can't see. But my mom would. I think I've shared this before. We'd go to a store and see a dress I liked, and she would just sketch it out and say, "Okay, let's go to the fabric store." We'd go and buy some fabric, and she'd make her own pattern and make the dress to fit me. Because I always had an issue as a teenager, as an adult too. Why am I lying? I'm top heavy. So I could never buy, like in the 80s, there were jumpsuits, and I couldn't buy the jumpsuits because if the top fit me, the bottom was too big. If the bottom fit me, the top was too big. So I was wearing a lot of high page. Did I say high page? I did. So I'd get very frustrated. And my mom, saved the day. She would just make the clothes to fit me, which looked much better. And saved her a buck or two, I'm sure, because back then fabric wasn't too expensive. She could go, if we found something on the weekend, we would go to the swap meet, and I'm sure it's not like that anymore, but she could get fabric for $1 a yard, and she would always find the right fabric, and she knew how much she needed, and if she was going to buy a lot of fabric, like when she was reupholstering one of my brother's cars, because my brother was in a car club and he had oldies, and she reupholstered one of them. It was a 50 something, I don't know what. Um, and he got a quote on upholstering it, and my mom said, "Oh, no, 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 that's too much money." So she took one class on upholstering cars to learn how to do all the tufts and tucks and I don't know what. And she reupholstered my brother's car. And then she was so good at talking down the price on the fabric because it was like, well, I'm gonna buy a lot of fabric. So I think you need to give me a good price break. I'm always here buying fabric. She always did that. She always did that. That was my mom. That's still my mom. If she can get a price break, she will. Like she's always she always looks at us funny. Um, let's say she's very particular about well, she has to be about the socks she wears. And so she can't find them anymore where she originally bought them. So here's my sister and me are on, you know, online trying to find those socks. And my mom's like, "You guys just, as soon as you want something, you just go on your little computers and find what you want, huh?" And I was like, "Well, hopefully we find what we want. Doesn't always work that way, but we try to find what we want." Um, I put a bunch of my cards out page when the last time I did a little yard sale at my sister's house, at my mom's house, and I set out a bunch of my bee stash items along with the cards. I didn't really sell too many. I sold a few, um, but I'm telling you, I might as well have given them away because I think I sold them for, I don't know, like $2 a card or something. Super cheap. The problem, handmade goods are beautiful. The problem with selling handmade goods is most people um, just don't want to pay what it's worth. I get it. It's a card, it's paper, but it took time. It took more than just the paper. You got to take into account the adhesives and if there was ribbon or if there were embellishments. I don't think, oh, good. See, my brain doesn't always work, Paige. So, a lot of times, because my husband will tell me, "You should sell them, baby. These are nice. People will pay for them." And people that see my cards will tell me the same thing. I just don't want to haggle for prices for my cards because, even cards that are this easy, it took me time and I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't have to haggle. I don't know. Although last year, because I always make a handmade card for um, my husband's boss and the people in the office and like that for Christmas. So I made them some. And last year, the lady in the office was like, "Do you think she can make some from our company to our vendors?" And she had a specific look in mind, and I was like, "Yeah, I can make them. I'll do it." So I did it. And she says, we'll pay her." And I said, "Okay, whatever." Me thinking they'll probably pay me like a couple bucks each card. And she asked for, I don't remember if it was 30 or 40. So I made what she asked. I made a few extra from what she asked for to send out to their vendors. And um, she asked my husband how much, and he said, "Well, what do you give us what you think is fair." Guys, what she thought was fair was what cards should actually be sold for. I think she paid me, hmm, it came out to something like $5 and change per card. And I was just like, "Oh," and my husband said, he told her, "Okay, do you think that's fair?" She's like, "Well, yeah, I was looking and this is how much handmade cards sell for. So yeah." And, he said, "See, babe, people will pay if people want something, they'll pay for it." I was like, "Okay, maybe next year I'll do some fairs, some little craft fairs. Maybe. Who knows?" Because um, there's this one particular craft fair that I know I won't have to pay for the booth because a friend of mine runs it. She tells me every year, "Just let me know and I'll set one aside for you." Um, but it's in December, and December I'm always busy, you guys. Super busy. How are we doing on time? We've got a few minutes left. I already saw that one. Where is it? There it is. Depends on your market. Cheap is king. Right? I think that's my market here too. That's the problem. Why don't we put a couple of these together and I'll set this aside and do these on my own off camera, guys. That way you can see a few cards finished instead of just parts of the cards. Okay, so we have this. So do I put, this is where my brain has to decide now. Do I put green on green or red on green? Oh no, I like the red on green better because the green gets kind of lost. Okay, so then making sure it's the right way, just kind of center it. And there, your card's done. So see if you did, so like one page of the 3x4 cut aparts, you get 12 of those. And then if you use one of those sheets of pattern paper and then one sheet of another pattern paper, you get 12 cards out of 2 sheets. And you can make the cards relatively quickly, I think. What was I doing? It works out. I like it. I like to use sketches a lot. You can probably tell by watching my channel. I love to use pattern paper and card sketches. Part of the reason for that is I like to see quick results. Like I want instant gratification, basically. I want to make sure I can see a project finished the day I start it. So pattern paper makes that possible, makes it super easy. The other reason I think is I'm not super confident in my coloring skills. I'm getting better about it. Um, but I know you have to practice to get better, right? So I'm trying to do more coloring, like stamping and coloring, so that I can improve on that. And I mean coloring not just with my alcohol markers, but watercolors. And I'm going to try and remember to bring out my colored pencils too and use those. Because there's some beautiful, I have gorgeous stamp sets, you guys. I have a lot of them, a lot. Some of that comes from being on design teams. So you get a lot of beautiful crafty goodies. and then you use them to do your design team obligation, and then you put them to the side and forget about them. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to forget about my stuff. So I'm trying to do better. Trying. Mm, this center might go on red. Although it's a red background. I'm going to do it because of that blue. So that's my goal. And I do have to empty out that garage. We need to clean it up because there's too much stuff in there. I don't want to be a hoarder. I don't. I'm pretty good about getting rid of things I don't use. Like when it comes to the clothes in my closet, if I haven't used it in a year, I'm not going to use it. It needs to go. And I used to do the thing, well, maybe I'll lose weight and fit in that again. Nope. I'm not going to play that game with myself anymore. If I lose weight, I buy new clothes. That's all there is to it. And I try and tell my mother-in-law that because she has too much stuff she just holds on to because what if? And I tell her, if and when that if happens, we'll just buy what you need. And she tells me, well, I'm not rich like you. And I'm like, I'm not rich. I just know that if's not going to happen for her. She'll save, I don't know, I can't even think of an example, but she'll save something like, oh, my son gave her this portable air conditioning unit because she doesn't have air conditioning. And so we took it and we showed her how to use it. And that thing has sat in the corner of the living room unused for a few years. And I tell her, just get rid of it, just sell it, somebody else can use it. No, what if it gets real hot and I want to use it? So the what ifs are very real for her. So I just, okay, not going to argue. You do you. It's not worth the argument. Okay, so there's those. What am I missing? What am I missing, guys? I would say give it a try page. The, um, you just have to kind of gauge how much you're going to spend for the venue and judge if you can make at least that much back, plus your time there. Exactly. Exactly. They'll spend for that Hallmark one that's a flat one layer mass produced card, but not for handmade ones. Oh, that's a good idea. Old stock so I could sell it for less. That's a good idea. Oh, thank you, my friend. I always forget the YouTubey stuff. I tell you, if you could like, share, blah, 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 all the stuff. Oh, that's another idea, selling card sets. You know who sells I've seen that she does well is oh my God, Letty of Party Planner Papery. She sells like card making kits. So she'll put together like for kids um a kit to make two cards maybe. So the pattern paper already pre-cut, the embellishments, the card bases, the envelopes, and she sells those. And I think she said she does pretty well on those. She also does a lot of other stuff. She does um, bookmarks, those hot cocoa packets, journals. She does a lot. But again, I think it depends on the market you're in. Some people live in a place that they have a better um, words are getting hard, guys. A better market for that. I think it's time for me to eat something, eat a snack. Those stripes look pretty. Now, I'm not going to do this one because it has these diagonal stripes. I'll save this for one of the ones that has the holly leaves. So I kind of just have to gauge what I'm putting on there. What am I missing? Try card sets. Yeah. Yeah, the indoor ones do better, I think. Yeah. I think I agree with, although, my mom did too, and she's not a hoarder. My mom's like me. My mom, she'll get let me take that back. I guess she could be a hoarder. I don't know. When we were younger, she would save, and I think this again was generational, the empty Cool Whip containers and the empty jars from whatever to reuse for storage of food and stuff like that. But now, and she'll try sometimes to save things like they just bought new couches, and she's like, we should save these in case somebody needs them. And I'm like, nope, nope, mom, nope, nobody needs them. Get rid of them. They're in good condition, but get rid of them. So, but other than that, my mom's really not a hoarder, so I don't know. And my mom grew up very poor, very, very poor. So, I don't know what the connection is there. I can't figure it out. I just can't. Having a garage sale and can bring whatever I want to sell and it won't cost me anything. So maybe since it's not going to cost you anything, take different levels of items. Like take some cards that maybe was just pattern paper and maybe older one or one you got thrifted or that cost you less, and like have different bins. 2 for $5 bin or a $5 each bin, or like if you have a really layered and heavily embellished and like a lot of work went into it, or a larger card, make that your, I don't know, $8 or $10 bin. Like maybe if there's different options, and at least that way you're drawing them in and they'll see the cheaper ones, but then maybe they'll kind of glance over at the other ones and they might buy one of those. I do that all the time, but I donate usually the stuff that I get rid of. I don't even bother selling most of it. Oh, yeah, I have to do that with my mother-in-law, and I hate to do that because I don't like being sneaky on stuff like that. Okay, guys, it's 10 o'clock. I gotta get going because I know the hubby wants to. We want to go get flowers, take him to the cemetery for my dad. We need to go. There was something else we had to go do. We're trying not to be out and about because the Memorial Day traffic will be crazy. There was something else. We're going to go there, go check on my mom. Um, oh, we have to go pick up some groceries, and it's just picking them up because I usually do the online order where I pick up, so I don't have to go in the store. And then just come home and maybe paint some more, um, clean up some more in here because it just is. I'm always cleaning in here, but it feels like I'm not. But I am, I promise. I clean up in here every day, but I also make a mess every day. Oh, good. I'm glad you like that. All right, guys. So I'll be back next Monday. I won't be here Wednesday. Just a reminder, I'm spending more time with my mama. But I will be here Monday, Monday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. And what did I say? Oh, we'll play with the clubs that I got. So I got the small die of the month, which has these cute little apple die and sentiments, to the best teacher, knowledge, wisdom. Really cute. Um, so we might use that. I also have the stamp set with these crayons, and it has the coordinating dies. So maybe I'll use that. And then I have this stencil. I'm really liking this one for this background, for the pencil background. Because, like I said, I worked for a school district for nearly 30 years. So that's always in the back of my brain. And I like donating to the schools. I like giving back to the schools. All right. Oh, yeah. Your crafty friends are the best. They always have the best advice. So, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day. Relax, enjoy, travel, do whatever you're going to do today. If you're not in the US of A, enjoy your Monday. And I'll see you next Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thanks for being here, friends. Bye.